Many of the business partnerships that I work with are 3-partner partnerships rather than the more typical 2. And for those partnerships, they have a set of difficulties that are unique and we don't find with just 2 partners. And in general, what it amounts to is this: 2 partners don't agree, and 1 partner is caught in the middle. I'm Richard Chandler, and I'm a business partners counselor. And today we'll talk about the difficulties, and we'll talk about something that can be done. So first, let's talk about the difficulties themselves of this 3-partner arrangement. What tends to occur over time is 2 partners are not seeing things the same way, usually the same 2. And as they have different viewpoints and the other partner does not see things the way they see them, more and more information is passed through the 3rd partner. So the 3rd partner becomes a conduit between the other 2, often translating what one says to the other partner and doing so in a way that in some ways softens the message. This is uncomfortable, particularly for the 3rd partner in which the information passes through. But it gets worse. Oftentimes, that 3rd partner, particularly in business meetings, ends up also mediating between the 2. Whether they're arguing or if they're just not talking much at all, maybe the communication's really stalled out, or one has talked and the other one has remained more silent. And that's also quite uncomfortable and not productive for the partnership and for really getting business things done. And this can persist over a long period of time because people get used to it. Now, there's a psychological problem with this. There's something called Karpman's triangle, and it's a way to diagram dysfunctional relationships. And what Karpman's triangle says is that we have 3 roles in a dysfunctional relationship. The first role is a persecutor. And the second corner of that triangle is the victim. When it comes to a partnership of 3, the 2 partners can take turns as who's the persecutor of the other and who's the victim suffering that persecution. The third role is that of the rescuer, which is the role that the 3rd partner ends up occupying a good deal of the time. They're rescuing whoever is playing the role of victim from the persecutor. And it's very dysfunctional. It doesn't work well. And the longer this goes on, the more these roles become entrenched and harder to disassemble. So what can be done? The power to do something really relies with the 3rd partner, the one who has been mediating, who has been the conduit of information, and has also been, in some ways, rescuing the other 2 partners from each other. That person needs to make a strong stand. That person needs to say to the other 2, perhaps in a business meeting, I am resigning from the role of being the conduit of information between the 2 of you. You'll need to talk directly. It's not coming through me anymore. Second, I'm not going to mediate between the 2 of you any longer. Just not going to do it. We'll talk as 3 equal partners about what's going on, but my job is no longer to soothe either of you or rescue you from each other. My role is to simply be an equal partner. And if that partner can do that, things have an opportunity to get better. And even with all that, they may not get better. And that's where someone like me comes in, because as a business partners counselor, I can provide more of an objective analysis of what's going on, and often I have the authority granted to me by the partnerships that hire me to really make sure that change happens. And we discover what's behind those 2 partners not getting along and what we can do differently to make it better for the partnership. If you'd like to get in touch, just look at the contact information at the end of the video, and I'm glad to entertain any questions you have about business partners counseling with 2 partners or 3 partners. Thanks for watching.